Engines roar! Let's go! Cars hitting that track, helmet strapped tight, and a man up front setting the show. AK on the rail, BJ in the mix, Bobby Joe going low, pushing for that spot. Monkey Man dives in, Viper holds lane, Lover Boy keeps the pace, Flash making the moves. Rusty keeps rolling, Pilot's on call, race control watching, keeping us all in line. Grip that wheel, hold your line, hear the crowd, feel the climb. Every lap we come alive, one more turn, we thrive. Heart to heart, we run this track. Heart to heart, no looking back. Turn by turn, we stay in sync. Heart to heart, we hit that bank. Heart to heart, we move as one. Heart to heart, till the race is done. Speed zone flash on the screen. Heart to heart, living the dream. Woo! Living the dream. Checkered flag dreams under our name. Late break action, nobody gives. Potters on the radio, keep it clean. We hug that curve, sharp and mean. Dan the man laughs, take it wide. AK and BJ side by side. Bobby Joe cuts and Monkey Man moves high. Viper stays cool, Lover Boy sets the lines. Flash brings heat, Rusty brings grit. Speed zone cameras catch every hit. Grip that wheel, hold your line. Hear the crowd, feel the climb. Every lap we come alive. One more turn, we thrive. Heart to heart, we run this track. Heart to heart, no looking back. Turn by turn, we stay in sync. Heart to heart, we hit that gas. Heart to heart, we move as one. Heart to heart, till the race is done. Speed zone it till the end on the screen. Living the dream. When the night gets loud and the tires scream, we don't break apart, we chase the dream.
With only 3 races left in the season, the championship couldn't be more on the line than it could be here today, as we are about to engage down in Rockingham Speedway here in Rockingham, North Carolina, as things are about to get hot down on the 1.5-mile fast-paced track here today. Hi everyone, I am Christian Shriver, the dead man with a hot mic in hand, and today we are looking at an absolute unit of a fight and a battle of supremacy here today, with every single one of these drivers about to get down into the grind and get things figured out. And to get that started here, let's take a look at our starting lineup here, presented in part by our friends at Allen T. Buick GMC. We'll start them on the pole. Driver the number 11 is Lane Powell on the outside, and the 15 is going to be Vincent Short. Row number 2 and 02 is Bobby Lane Jr. on the outside, and that 95 is Austin Cornpost. Row number 3 and the number 9 is Alan Marr on the outside, and the 5, Rusty Robinson. Row number 4, Lucas Wright driving the 71 on the outside, and the 03 is going to be Scott Cazenave. Row number 5 and the 8 is Ronald Robertson on the outside, the 12 is going to be Dan Colson. Row number 6, the 33, that's Jonathan Campbell on the outside, and the 47, Bud Like Mike. Row number 7, the 00 is BJ Lane on the outside, and the 91, that's going to be Joe Flack. Row number 8 is going to be driving the number 14 of Frank Caruso on the outside, and the 20 is Benny Jones. Row number 9, the 50 is Brian Perone on the outside, and the 2, William Martin. And final seed today, the 13, Steve Harrison. All right, race fans, it's time to get down to business, time to get down to the track. I do apologize for getting a little bit up and late here. It was not for no good reason. RC, whenever you get a chance, be sure to remind the people as well as the drivers what exactly they did today here that got them into trouble, because we do have them also on our broadcast lineup here today. So drivers, if you don't want to see what you did stuck on the top bases, I recommend not getting into trouble as we bring him to the green flag. Well, I had to say something, didn't I? Vincent Short didn't even get off the line there, the 15. I don't know if he spun, the tires come off the grove, but he is absolutely already in a dog fight to scratch back in this one. Out of the gate, it will be the number 11, Elaine Powell leading us down, Bobby Lane Jr. and Austin Cornpost right up in the mix. Yes, you heard that right. I said RC as well is with us here in the broadcast booth. They're not technically in the booth, but you'll see their little message on the bottom corner of your screen here if, say, somebody does something that they shouldn't have down there. It's a new feature we finally got added on the broadcast. We're working hard on it. And trust me, I say we were working hard on it. It took us to the last minute to get that thing figured out. Speaking of timing, I'm up right now and getting things to the last minute. 00 BJ Lane not wanting to be last minute contender here, having to immediately go up against there with Dan Colson, Jonathan Campbell, and Bud Like Mike mixed in between. Mile and a length, fresh pavement, fresh track. Not a track though that will give too much to the drivers. This place will tear your tires up and give you a lot of trouble if you're not careful around here. Watch for the drivers early on to get really quick in the speeds and quick on the pace, but a lot of them will be trying to go towards that bottom groove out of the gate, some more towards the middle depending on their style. But nevertheless, when you run this track, the one thing you got to avoid, is what that 95 did just there. Don't get into the wall protection. Stay off that thing. Starting to make some ground up, though, on the number 11 here. Is on the corner post. Wait a minute. Yellow is out. Yellow is out. Uh-oh. That's not good. Oh! That's really not good. I was not expecting to see a 15 literally flipped on its roof there and on its lid, to say the least. Good word. Take another look at the replay here. Oh! Talk about having a bad day, go from bad to just, Flipped over the machine right on the back half there, and next thing you know, just got taken for a wild ride, unfortunately. Let's just see again if that was on Bud Like Mike all the way, or what exactly went wrong there. Well, from the look of it right there, ow, ouch, 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 and, oh, what's that other word? Oh, yeah, ouch. Not a hit you didn't want to see there at all by chance. See if we can get another look at it from one more angle. I know I keep kind of jumping back on this one here, but there is one more angle we can see it from. And you see how quick things turn on a dime right there. Well, that will very much be interesting to see what the see what race control thinks on that matter. It could fall on the 47 here, a Bud Like Mike, or it could fall on Vincent Short. It's gonna have to see what the determination factor is as we await the call. Well, nevertheless, race fans, as we get everything squared in today, let's just give a big shout out to our people that have joined us in the chat once more. Tina Lane has come on board today, says 15 came up. H. Blanken says, good luck racing, boys. Bug Bandit Pest Control says, let's go 33. Obviously, I'm in the chat, just kind of remind you guys what I was up to. Heart Dart Streams joins us as well, says, good luck to all drivers. Thanks for watching. Please don't forget to subscribe. And Joshua R6 says, Powell's going to be real fast. Oh, yes, indeed. Oh, there you go, race fans. Look on the bottom of your screen. There is the call. Yes, I said earlier we were working hard on it. We were working quick on it. It took us a little bit, but we figured it out. Race control has deemed this one on the 47, so Bud Like Mike, unfortunately, gonna have to take a little trip to the back. I like that little button. That's nice to actually see like what's going on down there, like why that comes out. Gonna pull him back down around off the turn 4 to the front straightaway, back to the green as Alan Marr. A very similar situation to Vincent Short there. Getting a little bit too hard on the charge there. And trouble down there, unfortunately. Jonathan Campbell. Whoa! I mean, we're cars am I going to see literally just broken, damaged up so badly on the starts, let alone the restarts? What on earth? Well, let's go take a look at that replay here and figure out what the heck happened in this case, because this should be interesting. Let's bring it back to the start. Now, I don't know if maybe Marv maybe had something to do with it, considering he spun the tires coming off the line and down from the chicane. Well, to see what exactly got the 33 into trouble here. Coming down out of the gate. Looks like Campbell. Whoa. Whoa. Yowzers. That was a no way, no. It looked like he just went right down into the 00 there and just basically caught himself off guard coming down into the lane. Oh, yeah, right there you can see it. As soon as that car got loose, it was, well, hope and pray, really, and did not go according to plan. So Campbell, unfortunately, now out of this one. But hey, Vincent Short going to get it back out on the track, but I mean, I don't want to try to square anyone off on this one, but he's got about 3 laps down right now. He's got some work to do. Just keep finding new things to show around here and getting some new tech on the circuits. Again, we are still always looking for new things and better ways to improve our broadcasting. And it doesn't just always involve with the video cameras here. Sometimes I got to get a whole dictionary at the thesaurus out there to actually learn some new stuff here. Trust me when I say it gets complicated. But the people demand more, and we will always do our best to give them what the people want. But at the end of the day, if the drivers aren't even providing for it, and there's not much else I can really say. So now the rest falls on the drivers here as we're going to get them squared back up once again. Powell again going to lead us down here with Austin Cornpost looking to try and take over that racing lane from him. I'm honestly not surprised though. He's kind of staying towards that bottom lane. Dylan Henderson says, just got here. What did I miss? Well, first things first, not a whole lot except 2 big wrecks here. And also for the fact that we now have a little race control button. Yep, so that's why I was kind of saying at the beginning of the broadcast to the drivers, you don't want to make sure you get put on the camera here. Green flag back on out here as they refire him up, and here we go again. Lane Powell immediately jumping on the lanes and down into the chicane of the back straightaway. Cornpost right behind him now, trying to dogfight him into this one. Last 3 races, Lane Powell has been the one they're all hunting down. He's got 3 in a row, looking to make it 4 today. Cornpost not going to give it to him that easily, though. He wants to stop him dead in his tracks and not let him take that over. Meanwhile, in the mid-back madness, everybody else jockeying for position, trying to get their wits, trying to keep themselves under control. Timing going to be very crucial here again, because this track, this isn't like a normal mile-long track where you usually see it like a little bit fast and you slow down into the turns. No. Rockingham is a unique beast in that it's almost like a 1.5 to 2 mile long track in terms of the sheer speed you can carry. But the thing is, you carry that also through the turns. Because of that high banking, because of the high length fence. This is a track that requires control and stability, while at the same time making sure not to overthink it. You overthink it a little bit or give yourself a little bit less time to kind of grasp the track, well, let's just say you'll be grasping for straws in a not so friendly way. This place as well, a bit of a tire burner. Again, they're going to be running a lot of harder compounds on those rubbers for these Goodyear tires to make sure that they can avoid having any kind of issues to deal with the rubber wearing out or wearing thin. A lot of guys are going to be trying to pit quick and pit fast when they have to, get the fuel they need, and then get back out on the track. If they decide to take the tires, it will be a lot faster in the long haul. But the problem is, you go a lap down at any time, it can be very dangerous, very hard. You got to get that speed back underneath you. Redirecting through traffic right now, up into the front half. You got a battle in the mid-so here. Lucas Wright going dead even there with Bobby Lane Jr. as Ronald Robertson, the 8, pushes along. Each one of these drivers right now just trying to get the better of the other, trying to outsmart one versus that other driver behind him. Nobody being too inaccurate on their positioning and on their cornering. Again, really it's kind of been more of just kind of stay focused on the lane and stay control of your own destiny, if you will. Yes, Lambia has joined us now as well, and once again, at this point, we need a name for like this crowd over here. Powell, I swear, like, you've got a whole fan base that just joined you around here. I think we need to call them, like, the Powell Pleasers. I think that's the best thing I can think of. I don't know. You guys give me a comment down below what I think I should call Powell's fan base. He's got enough of them. I think we can start call some. Maybe not. Well, nevertheless, though, he is leading us down right now at the moment, keeping Austin Cornpost at bay once again. And it's kind of crazy to think that what we've seen from Austin Cornpost and Lane Powell this season, those two have literally been derided as literally the two fastest drivers and the ones that have been absolutely taking it to the front end of this pace and for the controls of the stage. But yet, when you look at how hard they've been running amongst each other and trying to get to one another, it seems like neither one has the distinct advantage. It all really reverberates back down to which one can outsmart the other and at what time can they play to the strategy. And with those cautions coming out the way they did in the last couple weeks too, that does change the trajectory as well as some of the racing choices that these guys make on a time-to-time basis. Take a look at the back of the stack right now. Don't want to be in the last pack. They want to be up in the front pack. Joe Flack and Ryan Perone having a nice little go at it here as the number 50 tries to get underneath the number 91, the Flash Chevrolet. Dean Lane saying it looked like last week's race. Billy Anderson saying kind of what I was thinking. Yeah, honestly, it is early though. You got to keep in mind we got 100 laps to go in this one. There's still plenty of time for something crazy to happen around here. This is no gimme around here. You got to be patient and you got to be focused. Get a little onboard camera here with Bud Light Mike. You see the 50 of Vincent Short. He's still trying to find his way back into this again. Still about 3 laps down, but again, anything can happen here. We've seen crazier stuff happen in these races. Ooh, you got a great onboard camera there for Bud Light. That gives you guys an idea on how tough it is to run around this place. Again, you would think that going to the bottom lane and keep that momentum up and keep the control underneath you to not go up to the wall protection is actually a better idea. But here's the thing, you just saw Bud Light there. That rear steer, and the rear wheels can't steer off as well as you may think. Again, you can skew this car all you want, but when you are literally on that bottom part of that track, and the next thing you know, that whole wheel is turning dead set, drifting and dirt tracking, yeah, I wouldn't want to be you in this case for your tires. It is so hard to keep this thing under control and keep this thing in a good position to be able to fight in the race lanes. Again, it's not a 1-lane track. This is a 2 or 3-lane track. It's just those exits. Depending on where you're at, it can make the biggest difference or the troublesome for others. All depends on who mounts the charge and who mounts the perfect lanes. Got a nice long bar camera here with Ronald Robertson. Here's the number 8. Continues to keep Bobby Joe at bay. Bobby Joe's going to go to the inside here, trying to find some run off of the exit. And this is something you're going to see a lot too, folks, is when drivers try to make their pass. Oh, yes, mama, they're going to be battling. They're going to be rubbing. They're going to be scruffing. And that's exactly what you just saw there. Here comes the 03 of Scott Cazenave. He's starting to dial it in a little bit too, get it right up there ahead of the 8 of Robertson. But again, going to that extreme bottom lane and having to dive it off, that does wear off the tires a bit. If you go to the extreme outside and then try to keep that speed up and turn it hard, well, let's just say that's still another way to basically destroy your entire lane stint, no matter what you were thinking or what you were trying to do. So really, it's only up there for a short stint if you can make it work. But again, it's very tricky to do here. Let's go on board, Colson. I want to give you guys a good idea of like what I'm talking about here. Now notice right here, listen to that tire rhythm. Listen. You can hear the wind and you can hear those tires screeching running into that turn, because again, that's the high banking area and carrying speeds well over 160 to 180 miles per hour entering into those turns. That's why you hear those tires screech and basically trying to hold on for dear life, trying to grip as hard as they do. It's because, again, they are literally gripping these things around, not braking as much as you may think. If anything, they tap off the throttle, get back on the throttle, and then basically square up for the run. And hopefully they don't end up getting themselves into a bit of a mix or a mix-up there with a lot of these other drivers that are trying the same thing out there. And the longer it goes to, the harder it gets to control. Here comes the move off of turn number 2. Rusty Robinson, I thought maybe he had a little bit of momentum to carry through there on Colson. Colson, though, able to have the presence of mind, hold on that outside lane, basically keep him from getting past him there. And Bobby Joe getting passed up as well there by Scott Cassidy. That definitely does not seem to be the place that he was expecting. Cazenave, again, last time out, finishing in the top 3. He's proven, in my opinion, that he is certainly one driver you got to be careful of, despite not being as far up in the points as maybe he would have liked to have been. That doesn't mean anything when it comes down to long term. And speaking of long term, I think we kind of forgot Cornpost took the lead away from Lane Powell. It's time to go take a look and see what exactly that was all about here. We'll see what lap and lane that was on before he made the pass and see how he was able to do it. This was a bit a while ago, so it's going to be a little bit. This is on lap number 31 for reference. Here's a good look at it again. Now you can see Lane again defending the line, defending his shot, but watch this. Watch that corner exit here from the corn post. Drives it up just high enough, gets some speed to carry through. Here comes the dive. Deep into the inside. There's his move off. Now here comes the pass. And again, Powell's going to fight him. He's going to try and keep him up on the outside. But look at Powell. You see him scratching that wall around a bit. That's slowing him down. Now comes the move. Running it hard down on the bottom lane again. Powell and him side by side. Again, they are fighting and scratching and clawing for everything they got here on lap number 32 into 33. There's the runoff, and there you go. Powell way hard off the exit, got loose, and Cord Post from there said, well, it's my time now, my friend. So there you have it. That is your Speed Zone TV instant replay for the race lead, brought to you in part by our friends at Spa Auto Sales. And of all things, I have a caution out here, and I didn't even see it. Oh, my word. Okay, well, race control, you do your job there and let me know what exactly I missed, because I'm a complete dunce about this one. But let's take a look at the replay and see what exactly transpired that caused this happen. Coming off turn number 2, here is Ryan Perone. There's Jonathan Campbell. Oh! Ouch! Ouchie, ouchie, ouchie. Oh, that was what I was telling you about earlier, race fans. Again, these drivers are going to do what they can here in many times in many areas to try to make the pass. But the problem is with a mile-long track with this kind of sheer speeds and power, this is what can happen. Watch this again. Campbell, look at him cross down the bottom. Notice how he goes up slightly onto the white line. Bro was trying to save it. And next thing you know, he gets trashed in the process. Ouch. So Campbell and Perone, the ones that caused that one to come out here. We're about ready to get back to the green flag. I got to get back up on this thing. Well, hold on a minute. I know race control put it up. Hang on a sec. There we go. Man, you look one way for the other, and next thing you know, there's that mess. But here is the official result there. The number 33 will be the one who is docked on that one. He's going to go to the back and have to result to the EOL penalty as we bring him back to the green flag on the front straightaway. It's showtime again. Back to the action. Horn post will lead us. Everybody else right now jockeying for position, looking for their position. Looking for their run, trying to stabilize themselves. Look up on the outside. Watch out for the 0-0. BJ Lane getting some momentum carried up. He's looking hard and he's scratching for some runs here. Can't seem to find something just yet. Down low goes Rusty Robinson. Ended up getting himself a little bit into a troublesome spot. Here comes BJ on the outside with Bud Light Mike falling from behind. And Bud Light Mike making his presence known. Trying to dig it in deep and look for it to stick. Oh! Major hit there by the number 14 of Frank Caruso. Can he save it? No. And yellow is out again here for the number 14, unfortunately. Well, at least this one we caught right away, so at least we know that one is not on us for making a mistake on the broadcast side. But let's take a look at the replay. Caruso getting up there deep the inside, and again, you can just see the real estate you were working with going into that corner. Again, Caruso backed off the throttle, try to save it, not get short loose or end up messing up his race, but unfortunately, yeah, you can see the end result there, my friends. One more look at it. Dove it in deep, and honestly, credit where credit's due to Vincent Shortman. Talk about saving that thing and not letting it get loose. He takes a huge hit once more, and this time has the presence of mind to back out of the throttle and square that thing back up. Great driving on his part. And ever since that pass there by the number 95 here of Austin Cornpost, he's been leading us down since then. I think it's kind of obvious to tell who is the one at fault here, but we are just kind of letting things simmer down and getting figured out down there. I will ask you at home as well, race fans, what do you think? Do you like the fact that now you can see that I'm not just blabbering my mouth when I say who got the penalty and who got put somewhere else? Do we at least like that showing up on our screens here? Again, we're always trying something new, but we need the people to tell us whether or not they like what they see. I know the drivers probably don't like it because they have to realize now that they have to be on their guard and not get themselves into trouble here. About ready to field him back down here once more, race fans. Get him squared up. So again, Caruso getting himself into that mess and causing the situation there on the number 15 as he dove it into him. With nearly halfway done in this race. Ready to patrol off of the front straightaway here. Now looking to set him back to the green. Off of turn number 4 here. Austin Cornpost and Lane Powell ready to duke it out again. Walk back, green flag coming your way off the front straightaway. Drop the flag down. It's go time. 3 wide, entering down into turn number 1. They clear the gaps. Now comes the time and place to start making some moves. Alan Marr right behind Lane Powell, maybe looking to try and get Powell a little bit weary. Meanwhile, behind him here, everyone else just jogging for position, trying to find their lane. Bobby Lane Jr. up on the outside, diming it back down on the corner end, trying to get some speed to carry there to Kazanev. Buck down the inside. Here comes the 0-0, BJ Lane. Well, he's trying to get something up there. He's trying to figure out a way to get around these guys. Giving it everything they can here and trying to push their luck and trying to push the agenda up to where they got it. Man, a lot of these drivers too, again, they are constantly just trying to figure some way or a position to make the best out of their runs and make the best out of their timing here. Gonna go back on board here with the number 5, Rusty Robinson here. And you can see again just how quick things can change on you here. Up on the outside, now got a little close. And Vincent Short in the 15. Again, you got to remind yourself, fans, that he is a couple laps down, but what he's trying to do, he's trying to race his way back into lead lap territory. He's not running hard because he wants to. He's racing hard because he has to. And he's doing everything he can to try to get some momentum carried through up there. Take a look back up here at our battle for the race leads. Here is the lap time deltas. This is presented in part by our friends at Spa Auto Sales tonight. And Cornpost, again, kind of in a weary contention position, kind of in a tough spot there. Uh-oh, it looks like the 2 and 14 drive-through for changing lanes. That is a drive-through penalty there for the 2 and the 14. You thought we were just throwing EOLs around here? Oh, no, 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 no. There was more down there. Loomis Brent says, why is 33 in the dog pound? Well, he actually wrecked twice down there. That's why currently he's in the dog pound. Speaking of the dog pound right now, Lane Powell, if you're not careful, that basement's going to be looking very nice and tidy for you, my friend. You've avoided it for 3 weeks, but I think you can't avoid it this week if you don't get to that number 95 down there. Squaring them up back down around off of turn number 4. Scott Cazenave and Bobby Lane Jr. in a bit of a dogfight position, just trying to keep ahead of the other. We're going to take a Spa Auto Sales camera now down to the 0-2 for Lane. Blistering and turning the speeds up a notch, just trying to find controls under the lanes and under Canade. Scott Cazenave, Alan Marr, Bobby Lane Jr. battle for the 3rd place here. We're past halfway. So now it's all just about timing and control here. You can see just how far Lane Powell and Austin Cornpost are from one another too. Since we got the battle for 3rd going on, let's look at the time delta. Cazenave and Lane had a lot of speed there on Marr. This time, didn't gain anything, but didn't really lose anything. Should tell you a lot down there, race fans, that it can change up pretty quickly here. Even that small movement and that small messes in the turns can absolutely tank your run when you're driving this kind of speed. As you see once more, diving hard off that exit, downing right into the corner. Oh! Cazenave not giving many room, and here comes Bobby Joe to the inside. Big run from the 0-2 as he looked to try to make his pass off into the corner. Oh, mama, he had to back that bad boy down before Cazenave was going to get the left hook from the 0-2. Woo-hoo-hoo. Well, perfect execution from the 0-2 of Cazenave, making it look very, very easy, honestly, for what it was worth. We'll give you a good look at that from our Speed Zone TV instant replay. Here's how we got it done. This was presented by our friends at ALZ Contractors. Watch this. Mar getting a good run off down to the controls. Look at Cazenave, though. Sticks his nose right in there. Bam! Slams the door on him. Here comes Bobby Joe to the inside, looking for that pass. And look at Cazenave. He stays to the outside, doesn't try to go down or give the 0-2 any trouble. But if I am Alan Mar right now, oh yeah, I am thinking one thing only. I'm putting my sides to his fender benders in a minute. He's getting what's coming to him if that's me down there. You can't just get bumped around like that and expect not to get it there. Whoa, hold on down there. We got problems for the number 33. Jonathan Campbell is in the wall protection. He is off the track. He is currently trying to get off the track. No caution. Can he get it back into pit road? He's got to be a little quicker. The motor is blown. The motor is gone on the 33. It looks like the right front sides are broke as well. Yep, you can see the entire wheel housing bent on that thing. So the 33 is out. Campbell going to get into pit road, though, thankfully. So we will stay clean and green. Good on him as a driver. Good on him for being able to perform at that level there. Again, it's really tough as a driver not to want to just get that caution out and make everyone else's day a little bit harder on themselves. But at the same time, it takes a bigger man and a bigger woman or a bigger driver out there to be the better and to end up admitting when something went wrong. It's just time to call it a day and get it out of there so the others can race their race. And again, I think that's one thing I really love about Heart to Heart Motorsports, is that these guys absolutely do their darndest to make sure that they can race their race and not have to worry about causing more trouble and issues down there. Got a little onboard camera here of Vincent Short. Again, he's probably not on the freshest of tires and probably not in the best head right now, considering what he's been through today and what he lost early on. And I can't say that I blame him, honestly. Early on, you spin the tires coming out of the line, get thrown back in the pack. Next thing you know, you're in a complete mixed mash of mayhem and issues. I mean, as a driver, I can tell you, it is the most frustrating thing in the world to have to qualify so well, and the next thing you know, you get wrecked out before you know it. It's absolutely heartbreaking, and I do feel for him on that. But needs to be taken with his stride and at least keeping a cooler head for now. I hope maybe if he gets a chance here, he'll have another shot to show everyone and the boys that he is here to race. Because I know how fast he is. I've raced him and I've broadcasted enough for him. I know how quick Short is. And a good little hustle right now here as we get a good little test of speed and strength by Alan Mar and Bobby Layton Jr. And if I'm Alan Mar right now, again, I'm still just seething over the fact that I got tail-ended and got a whole rubbing his racing put to my door panel there by the 0-3. Meanwhile, having to deal with Bobby Lane Jr. still right on my toe tail. I gotta be absolutely thinking nothing but just hard controls and hard power down there. Spa Auto Sales Cam here on the 0-2 right now. As we look on with Alan Mar right up into the draft zone. And again, there's one thing about this kind of racing too that helps lean its way towards better driving, is that these drivers can actually use the draft to their advantage here. It seems kind of cliche, but it is very possible, again, considering how these long the straights are and the fact you're keeping the speeds up through the turns. If you stick within that draft and stick within that bubble, you actually have a little bit of time to speed up and keep yourself under control here. Well, going into this race fans, again, Corn Post falling into the second spot. He knew going in he had to literally make a statement today, and honestly, so far, I think he is doing just that and then some. I don't want to count out Lane Powell, though, because, again, number one, he doesn't want to go back to the basement. And number two, if there's a driver, in my opinion, that could easily be one tough cookie and can absolutely take things in stride, it certainly is him. taking a look at our schedule as of right now. Yeah, there's only two more races left after today. Homestead, Miami Speedway, and Charlotte Motorsport Speedway left on the docket. Certainly tells you a lot about what these drivers are feeling and what's going through their psyche, knowing that the end is almost near. They've raced hard and they've raced well, but now they find themselves in the toughest of predicaments here. Tina Lane says rooting for AK Austin Corn Post. I think there's probably a lot of Corn Post fans out there, but I know obviously the Powell fans out there are also keeping a close eye on that 11, not just for the fact that he may have to take a trip back downstairs, but the fact that also he's been pretty much in a bit of a dogfight situation, just trying to hopefully get a shot at the win and at the championship here. So I have to do a clarification here, race fans, as well. Looking at the total points so far, Corn Post is still your leader by 5 points going into this race over Lane Powell. Dan Colson, Vince Short, and Scott Cazenave are in the top 5 bracket here. So just for a clarification there, that is actually the point structure right now. So 5 points separating Corn Post and Powell today. Yeah, I gotta believe if I am that 95 right now, I am not letting up anything. I'm gonna keep this thing in my clutches and go for the win today. No doubt about it. And again, Corn Post just been so solid throughout this entire season, throughout this entire race, honestly, and just not giving too much of an inch down there, not letting others just kind of dictate his way. He's been very focused, determined. And the crazy thing is, he qualified in 4th. So he wasn't even the fastest guy out there from the start. He actually had to work his way into this one, and so far, it's been doing him some wonders. Let's go on board here with the number 12, Colson again. Got an onboard camera here, presented in part by Buchanan Resort here for the 12. And you can see just, again, this gives you a good idea how much these cars sway around here. You see the rear end just coming, creeping out, kind of pushing off on him. Then next thing you know, absolutely taking a bit of a stride and turn. And not a whole lot they can do about staying in that lane choice and in that controls. Caruso right now is currently 3 laps down. Excuse me, 2 laps. No, my bad. 2 laps down. Oh, well, it might be more. Ah! Woohoo! I was going to say that might be more laps he's going to get, but yeah, oh, that 71 did not give the 14 much room and vice versa. He had so much speed coming in that turn, he honestly didn't realize how much he was going to nudge that 14. I'm glad Caruso was able to back it down and get up to the outside lane before it got ugly, but that was some serious rubbing right there from the 71. Oh, and this battle could get interesting, race fans. Scott Cazenave now. He may be closing in on Lane Powell, but he's got company on his doorstep. And you can see right there, Marr is coming up fast. He's coming up quick. And if I am that 9 right now, like I said earlier, I am not forgetting what happened earlier. But I would be careful. Ooh, that's why. Got it a little bit loose off turn number 2 there. Needs to straighten her back out, reset, and relaunch back to the straightaway. Make sure you don't overdrive it and stay focused on your rhythm. Lane Powell, though, he is slowing up a little bit. Cazenave might have something. And again, the point's this tight. Powell can't afford to lose more ground here. He needs to stay in a high position and high stakes. Doesn't really matter if he loses the streak today. He needs to be focusing more on the fact that there's 2 races left with a championship on the line. So far, 5 spots up today for Cazenave, and again, he is our second Hard Charger Award recipient. Perone currently in 5 as well. Steve Harrison, he started 19th today, race fans. He's in 13th. He's the Hard Charger Award recipient right now. Ooh, mama, he pulling it up quick. He pulling it up fast. He's got the draft line now. Can Lane hold him down? He's going to need to be careful here. Oh, he's not going to hold him down off that corner there. Oh! Oh, Cazenave! Oh, he got tagged by the 9. Alan Moore, I don't think that was intentional by his stake, but unfortunately, that did catch the 0-3 off guard. And maybe in some ways, in his mind, a little racing karma for earlier. But that certainly probably wasn't the way he wanted to do it. He'll get the pass on the inside there, but we're going to the replay and taking a look at this one, race fans. He just completely catches Cazenave right off the exit. Comes right up. Oh, actually, I think that falls on Cazenave. I think Cazenave actually came down up in the 9. Taking a look at it here. I thought from what I saw, I didn't really think that was the case. Now I might have to reconsider this. Let's look one more time. Watch the rear end here of Cazenave as he came off turn 2. Oh! Well, it didn't catch the corner panel, but he sure caught the bumper. And Cazenave's going to go to pit road. I don't know if that's to get damage fixed up or if he's going to have to do his short pit or not. Either way, it's going to be Austin Cornpost, Lane Powell, and Alan Marr now leading the way here in the 3rd spot. Oh, I hope if Marr gets 3rd place today, I hope he's ready for the questions we got for him. It's going to be an interesting interview today. Running him down, trying to get up there to Powell. Powell again now just doing everything he can here to try to keep everything under control. He is doing a good job in that aspect. Oh, maybe not now. He slams the wall off turn 2, as I just heard a motor go on one of them down there. Gonna pulse it right off the front straightaway here. There's gonna be some ground clearance for Marr. Marr definitely got some speed back on him there. Or maybe not. Maybe he didn't actually. I was kind of surprised by that. I thought honestly maybe he did catch him a little bit. BJ Lane, trouble down there, and it looks like he's gone into pit road, so he's going to have to call it a night there. Bud Like Mike and Rusty Robinson here jockey for position in the 8th position, with Vincent Short looking on from behind, trying to close the gap off and trying to just finish this race, at least with his head held high. Can't help but respect that in a lot of ways as a fellow driver. Robinson definitely digging in deep. He's trying to get there to Bud Light Mike. But Mike, again, doing what he can to try to keep him at bay and trying not to let him make that pass. Josam XB says, let's go, pal. Great to have you on board today. Rounding him down off the front straightaway here again, Robinson. And Bud Light Mike doing a great job. And one thing I definitely need to figure out, I got to figure out how to get me a double feature cam on these things so we can focus on 2 races going on at once. Because, man, there's 2 absolute bangers going on. But the one that really right now I think most want to focus on is the one that's battling for the 2nd spot. And if I'm Austin Corpus right now, all I'm thinking is you 2 just keep doing what you're doing. I'm just going to nice and gently lead myself to victory here. Forget about the rest. Just focus on the best, and that being the best laps you can put down on the track. He is 8.5 seconds ahead of 2nd and 3rd, respectfully. And absolutely just put this thing to bed. But again, he has to be careful not to overthink it, not to undersell it. One wrong move, and that could be trouble. Lucas Wright and Bobby Lane Jr. now, they're also at a bit of a standstill and about a bit of gap difference here. Gann Colson looking on from behind as time is elapsing. We've got only about 5 laps to go here. The 0-2 there of Bobby Lane Jr. holding down Lucas Wright. Lucas, though, still on his tail end, just trying to get something figured out. He's looking for a quick run here, looking for some speed down there. Oh! And again, they come in so quick into those turns that it's crazy to think that they are even able to not put themselves in a bad spot, let alone get themselves into more trouble than it's worth. And yet they somehow, some way back off just in the nick of time. And I have no idea how they're able to do it, but props to them when they can. 4 laps left to go. This now is, in my opinion, going to be a tough battle to call because Lane Powell trying to hold off Alan Marr and trying not to lose another position. If he loses that position, his battle to get to Austin Cornpost is going to be a lot more difficult than maybe he expects. Perone getting in the wall protection, gets off it pretty quickly. Marr right with him though. Battle for points up for grab here in this full season format. You don't need a chaser or a playoff system to get this thing up and running. This is literally just a battle between 2 drivers just trying desperately to get to the top of the mountain one way or another. Marr going in for the kill blow right on the outside, trying to find it. He's going to try to diamond it back down, going to the inside off turn number 2, back down off quickly. But off turn number 4, race fans, time for the white flag to come out for the 95 of Austin Cornpost. Needs to finish this one quickly and finish it strong. Marr to the inside, looking for the final link. He got him. He got him entering to the front straightaway. And he puts the fenders right together up through turn 1 and 2. Powell not going to like that, but he's not going to like hearing this either because Austin Cornpost is going to victory lane at Rockingham. Alan Marr going to bring it right home in second place. And it's been a long time since we've seen him get that done. And Lane Powell going to look from behind with probably a little bit of frustration at himself as well as how things went to the very end. But you got to tip the hat off to the 95 once again, race fans. It's been a while and crazy to think that he's been to victory lane. But numerous wins now turning into 3 wins. And numerous, if not almost every single race within the top 3. That is absolutely insane status. Oh, it's going to be a celebration down there with that 95 team, I guarantee it. They've been wanting to get the victory lane for quite some time here, race fans. He might shred the tires off that thing before he's done. Well, as he celebrates, race fans, into the end of this one, it's time to take a look at our race results tonight, presented in part by our friends at Allen Tewick Buick GMC Chevrolet. Here is the results. The 95 Austin Cornpost once again in the podium, but this time it's the top honors. The number 9 of Alan Marr in an absolute clinic last lap battle there with the number 11 taking the second spot away from him as Lane Powell will settle for 3rd. And now will definitely be a tough points race for him coming into the final 2 races. He'll need Cornpost to make a mistake at some point and try to get those last 2 wins in. Lucas Wright absolutely fighting it out today. I think it's been a while since we've really been able to talk about him in that top 5 bracket, but he did the job well today. Bobby Lane Jr., once more, I really don't need to say much about him, honestly. He just somehow, some way, consistency at his peak and stays focused on the job and task at hand. Well done there. Dan Colson, Ronald Robertson, Bud Like Mike, Rusty Robinson, and Joe Flack, man, what can you say about these guys? They went full steam ahead, full center, and did what they could. Some finishers in there you would not expect considering how many laps they went down and how much trouble they went through. But again, the Rock definitely playing a factor in this one tonight. Race fans, when we come back to you, we talk with the top 3 drivers. Stay tuned with us here on Speed Zone TV.
Finding a local, experienced custom home builder and remodeling contractor is a challenge. Since March of 1993, with a commitment to change and improve the quality of workmanship in this trade, Andrew Lohmeyer has strived to build his company to be the best in Maryland and build not just customer contacts, but friendships. ALC Contractors is an award-winning custom home builder serving clients of Central Maryland. A custom home builder that works with you every step of the way, from the design process to the completed project. If you'd like to see examples of our custom homes up close, just ask, and we can give you some references. Contact us today to learn more about our custom homes, green homes, home additions, garages, home theaters, and kitchen remodeling projects. We can turn your dreams into reality. Call us at 410-356-7300 for your free home additions remodeling quote. ALC Contractors.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, we're back here live on the show once more, and it's time to talk with the top 3 drivers today. The first one, of course, we always talk to is the one that's usually on the top totem pole. Today, Austin Cornpost has rejoined us here on that totem pole. And Austin, once more, congratulations getting it done here at Rockingham. And man, I know it's been quite a while, but from the first and third race this season, you were absolutely dominating. And it took it this long to get back to victory lane. I got to believe that's got to be really fulfilling knowing you're still at the top of your game right now.
Yeah, I practiced my butt off this week. A lot of AI races, a lot of practice laps, and it paid off. I wasn't too worried about the pit strategy just because we had like 79 laps of fuel starting out. So I knew as long as we went 30, and I figured there'd be some cautions too. So I just try to save my tires. First stint, I didn't want Lane to get too far out, so I kind of burned him up that first stint.
You kind of burned it up that first stint and end up kind of putting you in this position now. I got to ask you, man. I mean, when you kind of finally started to figure it out, and you started to put some separation between you and then Powell, which then turned into Mar on the last lap. I mean, I got to believe that was probably more of just kind of like, please don't get that caution out and give me, just let me stay in cruise control tonight, wasn't it?
Yeah, I saw. I think it was BJ who went down into the grass there. I was like, oh, please, no caution. I don't need it right now because I didn't know what I was gonna do. I figured I'd get some tires, just because the restarts at this track, even on fresh tires, you're just gonna spin them, especially in second gear. So that played a factor too, trying to get a launch from the restart, a good launch without trying to spin the tires off of it.
For sure there. Well, nevertheless, Austin, man, it's been way too long since I've asked you about this, but who are we thinking here in the victory lane today?
Yeah, I want to thank ALC Contractors, Spa Auto Sales, Heart to Heart, Allen Tillery, Buchanan Resort, and Speed Zone. Y'all do great every week, and we appreciate it.
For sure there. Well, nevertheless, Austin, it's been great to have you on board. Congratulations getting it done here tonight.
Thank you, sir.
Ladies and gentlemen, Austin Corpus going to be your winner here at Rock. And now it's time to join in with our second place finisher today. And if you ask me, this guy's had probably the most adventurous out of all our top 3 drivers today. Alan Marr joins me now. And Alan, dude, I have so many questions I want to ask, but I'm just trying to keep it short and sweet. I mean, you literally got ruffled up with feathers from one driver, then you went to another, and then that last lap between you and Lane Powell, that certainly looked like you were on a mission to get this thing into second or third today, wasn't it?
Oh, 100%. I think me and Lane both had burned the right front up, him a little bit earlier than me. So I was able to get back to him. Lap traffic kind of got in the way a little bit, but me and Austin are teammates, and I knew if we caused a caution, we'd both be in trouble. So I knew if I was going to make a move, it's going to be at least last lap. So if we wreck, at least he still gets the win, and somebody from the team comes out with the podium finish.
Well, in this case, it wasn't just one; it was came to be both of you here. And I'll ask you this too, Amar. I mean, early on, I think it was about halfway in or just past halfway. You and Kazanave get into one another a little bit. Kazanave ended up driving you a little harder down in turn one. And in a little bit of a way, did it seem like when you're on the backstretch off turn 2, it kind of gave him a little bit of receipt catching that back bumper of his?
Oh, it happens, He did drive it in a little deep, got into the door, but I think he got a little sideways, and at that point, I can't really let off. Um, but it is what it is. We'll move on to the next one and put it behind us.
And with 2 races left here on Mars, certainly should be interesting to see. I'm going to ask you, buddy, who we thinking here for this second place finish today?
Yeah, shout out to Alan Tillery, Buick GMC, Cannon Resort, ALC Contractors, Scott, Bobby, BJ putting this on. Y'all doing the broadcast. It's always fun to go back in and watch these things and fix the mistakes that we made.
All right. Well, nevertheless, Alan, we appreciate you coming on by. Congratulations tonight on a top second place finish today.
Thanks, guys.
Alan Mar, ladies and gentlemen, your second place finisher today. And now rejoining me here, race fans. I've kind of gotten used to talking with him, but this time it'll be for a different position here. Lane Powell going into the 3rd spot. And Lane, man, this one had to have been a bit of a rough one here, considering the last 3 taking victories there, now having to go at a very hard-hitting kind of racetrack and tearing up some tires along the way, wasn't it?
Oh yeah, that was not an easy race whatsoever. I was having a hard time finding a happy medium between race pace and saving tires, and I want to congratulate Austin for getting first, dude. I didn't get the practice in to keep up with him, and I was really questioning how he took off like that with how much I was having to turn my steering wheel. My front right got burnt up, and I'm just happy I stayed where I could. And Alan gave me the run for my money right at the very end, and had a little scuffle, but good race to him too. And I'll take a podium all day long, so we'll take it as we can get it.
Take it as you can get it. And right now, I know points can be any tougher for you and Corn Post. Obviously, going to this race, Corn Post had 5 extra points on you. What are you going to have to do to try and get those points you lost today and everything you need in the final 2 races to somehow claim this championship?
And the one thing that's been helping me, considering he always finishes, right in front or right behind me the last couple races, has been getting pole and fastest lap, which is kind of how I've been cutting the lead down a little bit. So I think he was up 2 points on me for finishing, but I think I might have got fastest lap and pole, so it might have been evened out. I'm hoping for a good week next week, and then we're just going to have to go to war on week 10 and see what happens.
Absolutely, indeed. Well, nevertheless, Lane, we do appreciate always coming on by here. And I know, obviously, you got a few stairs you got to climb back down to for this week, but who we thank you here for this 3rd place position?
Yeah, thanks again, everybody, for watching. The sponsors that, help everybody out here. I've had a lot of fun doing this and looking forward to the next season and the next few races. And, like I said last week, shout out to Heart to Heart. I've had a lot of fun. This has, made the sim a lot of fun to look forward to. So I'm just glad I could, get in here and have some fun.
Absolutely, indeed. Well, nevertheless, Lane, we appreciate you always coming by, and great to hear from you once more. Congratulations getting our podium in today, my friend.
Thank you, sir.
Ladies and gentlemen, give it up for the number 11, Lane Powell. Well, that is another one of the books, race fans. New stuff and some new things we were able to show you guys. And once more, hard racing, be darned. It was a beautiful night of racing. And with that said, race fans, a big thank you again as well to our friends at Spa Auto Sales, ALC Contractors, Buchanan Resort, Allen Tillery, Buick GMC, Chevrolet, and as well as to Heart Motorsports for letting us come out and doing this crazy thing anyway. Without you, them, and you guys, of course, well, the show wouldn't really be any fun and really wouldn't be worth it. But until next time, race fans, take care of yourselves. It's been a blast here from The Rock. We will see you next time when the green flag flies right here on Speed Zone TV.